Hey guys, name's Paul. I'm a woodworker. I've been making sawdust and applying finishes for well over 40 years. Stripping's a nasty process, but in this video I'm going to make it easier for you. I'm going to give you some tips, tricks, and methods to improve the procedure. By the end of this video, you'll know how to set up and plan properly for your project. In part 2, I'll demonstrate the actual process of stripping. I've broken it down into 2 parts so that you can pick and choose if you like to move faster. But trust me, finishing takes patience and it takes time. So watch both videos. That's my suggestion. At the end, I'll leave you my web address where you'll be able to download free printable PDFs on all sorts of wood finishing projects. All my videos are on finishing. At the end, please like, subscribe, leave comments, and by all means, ask questions. I'm sit at my computer first thing in the morning and last thing at night, so if there's any questions, I'm always happy to answer them so that you'll turn out with the best project possible. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to do some finishing. Let's talk about finishing. We're actually doing wood restoration. We're taking wood that's been used and abused and done, and we're going to redo it. So what we're going to have to do, what this video will do is it'll take you a little bit beyond what the normal videos on stripper does. I've been doing this wood stuff for 40 years, and I've done a lot of stripping, and I've done a lot of furniture refinishing, and one of the things I found is that when you strip wood, you just beat the hell out of it, something fierce. And so while it looks better than it was, it's never going to be to the level that it was when it was original. So we want to get it as close to original as we can. So we're going to take a couple extra steps, and as a result, this video may be a little bit longer, but worth it. All right, so first off, we're going to need strippers because we need to get the old residue off. So there's 2 types of stripper. There's an organic or a citrus-based stripper, and then there's a chemical stripper. Both are good. The chemical stripper is probably a little bit stronger. It's a little bit less expensive, but the citrus stripper certainly works well as well. Okay, so both are caustic. So what we need is we need to protect ourselves. We need long sleeve shirts. We need rubber gloves, and we need eye protection. We need something to put the stripper down with. I recommend a couple that you get 3 or 4 of these chip brushes. You can buy them at your big box store. They're probably 35, 50 cents a piece. They're throwaways, so we're not going to worry about them. Once we're done with them, we throw them away. You're going to want a glass jar. You need something to put the stripper in. You don't want to put it in plastic because if it sits overnight, it could eat through the plastic. So save your old pickle jars. We're going to need something to take it off with. I used to use a metal scraper. I don't anymore. If you're going to use a metal scraper, take a file, flatten it round the edges. The problem is that the stripper softens the wood to a great degree, and the chances are of gouging and putting some serious dents in the wood are bad. So what I like now is these plastic scrapers. They're already round edges. They're not sharp. They're not a sharp flat front, and you can work close to the surface. So you're working an inch away from the wood versus working 4 or 5 inches away from the wood. So these are great. They're also disposable. That'll scrape the surface off. We're going to want to scrape it onto something. So what'll happen is the paint or the varnish will be softened. The stripper itself is gunky. So now we got this big glob of gunk. We scrape it off, and where do we put it? We put it right onto a plate. I like an old glass picture frame plate. This happens to be from a picture frame. You could use an old glass mirror. You could use anything. Again, it shouldn't be plastic. It should be stiff. If you don't have an old glass frame, your big box store, you can buy a piece of glass there, relatively inexpensive. In addition to scraping it off, there's sometimes that we get into a finer detail around curved edges, maybe a little fancy carvings on our pieces. So what I recommend is a stiff nylon bristle brush. Not this kind. This is too big and too awkward. I like something with a handle like this and with a smaller surface so that you can get into. In addition to that, if you've got real fine work, I like a little dental tool. You can use toothpicks, you can use bamboo skewers, you can use pretty much anything with a point on it. But the dental tools are available online on Amazon and they're relatively cheap. You want a toothbrush so that again, if you got to get into real tight spaces. Once most of the stuff is off, we'll probably do another coat of stripper, and then instead of coming back with a scraper, we may want to come back with some steel wool or one of these polyester Scotch Brite pads kind of thing. So works well. Once we've stripped our surface, the residue from the varnish or the paint and the stripper chemicals itself gets into the wood, and it penetrates the wood. Not real deep, but it gets into some of the pores and it gets between the fibers. So we want to clean it out. So I recommend that you have either lacquer thinner or mineral spirits. I like lacquer thinner a little better than mineral spirits for this because lacquer thinner is actually mineral spirits' a big strong brother. So it's a little more stronger. And I'll do 2 or 3 washes with this. So you'll also want to have some old rags. Once you're done washing, get rid of the rags outside. Don't keep them in your house because the rags have been known to combust, to spontaneously combust, and then we've got fire hazards. Okay, so now this is where a lot of videos online stop, but there's more that needs to be done. What we've done is we've taken wood that was once alive and very supple, and we've put all these harsh chemicals into it. We've taken what little oil is left in the wood and what little moisture is left in the wood, and we've taken out of it. So we need to restore it. What's going to happen is the wood's going to pop. It's going to create some frizzies. We're going to have some. It's called grain rays. We're going to have some rough areas, etc. So what we want to do is wait. And the longer you wait, actually, the better. And I recommend waiting, 3-4 days after you've done the stripper and done your wash down, to come back and sand. Let the wood dry out a little bit. The longer, the better. And then come back, and we're going to do a light sanding. And you can use a sanding pad. You can buy these foam sanding blocks. They're pretty inexpensive. You could actually do it by hand. You could use a mechanical sander. It doesn't matter. We're just going to do a very light sand. We need 2 grits of sandpaper. I want you to start with a 120 grit, which will take down those flaws pretty quickly. It'll remove any scratches from the scraper, etc. And then we're going to come back with a 180 grit, and we'll stop at the 180 grit, and then we'll do some of our finishing work, or we'll do our stain work. But before we do that, what's happened is, again, we've sucked the oil out of the wood. So this is about restoration and trying to get the wood back as supple as it once was. It'll never be as supple as it was in the tree, but we can get it back. We can get it nice, and so it has a nice feel and a nice luster to it rather than an old dried out plank piece of wood. So what I recommend is putting some oil back into it, and there's 3 potential oils you can use. You can use tung oil, either pure or polymerized, and I recommend polymerized over pure. The problem, they're both good, but what happens with pure tung oil is it's very slow to dry. It could take 4 or 5 days, a week, 2 weeks, depending on humidity. Or you could use a polymerized linseed oil, not boiled linseed oil, and not tung oil finish, but polymerized. Okay, so raw linseed oil will never dry. Boiled linseed oil has other chemicals in it, and we don't want to put more chemicals into the wood. We just want to add oil to the wood. Now, another option is you could use a mineral oil. They sell what's called salad bowl oil and butcher block oil, and relatively inexpensive, available very easily at the big box stores. Oh, by the way, I have a summary sheet available for you on everything we've talked about and all the steps that we've gone through. It gives you a list of all the stuff you'll need to have on hand before you start stripping. It gives you some basic rules, and it'll give you the procedure, the technique procedures. That's available for download. I'll give you my website address at the end of the video, so you can download it and have it on hand when you're ready to get started. Okay, with that, let's get going. We got some things to do here. Okay, I hope you learned something. Don't forget there is a part 2 to this video. It's the actual demonstration of the technique. So check that out. I also have a whole bunch of other videos on all kinds of wood finishing projects. So check them out.